What's going on, everyone? This is Vince with vshred.com, and in today's video, I'm gonna go over some of the most common mistakes that I see made when it comes to squats and how to fix them. I'ma keep on going up till the lights go down. All right, so like I said in today's video, we are going to be talking about squats. And so I have a couple common mistakes that I see made done at the gym when it comes to squats. And obviously squats are a super important exercise for everybody to be doing. It's one of the best total compound movements that you can do. But regardless, you have to make sure that you're doing it right. When it comes to building muscle, obviously stuff like squats are gonna be huge, but also making sure that you're doing the right type of cardio, the right type of resistance training. If you want some help with it, I get a lot of questions about it. It's why we created our free body type quiz. It helps you figure out what your body type is, and that will tell you exactly what you should be doing in the gym with your diet to get actual sustainable results. And so if you want to check that out, I'll put a link to it down in the description below. And if you're not yet a part of the vshred fam here on YouTube, make sure that you're subscribing to the channel and liking this video if at any point you enjoy what you are hearing or learning. But without further ado, let's get into this. All right, so the first mistake is that your knees shouldn't pass your toes, and this could not be further from the truth. When it comes to squats, a proper squat means your knee is passing your toe, but the issue is most people don't have the ankle mobility that they need so that their knee can pass their toe without any kind of knee pain. And so one thing that I like to do is make sure that at the beginning of every single leg day, I'm focusing on getting that extra mobility with my ankle, pressing my knee as far over my toe as possible, doing like a dynamic stretching session, and then I get into my squats and it feels a lot better. Another thing that you could actually do to help out with that lack of ankle mobility is putting an elevation under your heel. So what that means is basically doing heel elevated squats where you put like a 10-pound plate or something under both of your heels. And therefore, if you do have trouble getting down into a squat because you can't get your knees to pass your toes, and therefore you're lowering your back like this and putting a lot of pressure on your low back, adding that heel elevation will help you get into that squat a little bit easier so that your knees pass your toes with no pain. And it also helps to activate your quads even more and just helps out with general athleticism. So try it out if you never tried it, because I think it could probably help. All right, the next mistake that I see made is they collapse their knees in on the way down. And so the reason that I'm clarifying on the way down is because a natural squat position, or how our bodies naturally work, is you squat down and then as you lift up, you can watch all the best power lifters in the world, all the best bodybuilders in the world, when they squat up, their knees naturally come in a little bit as they press this up. But what you want to make sure that you're not doing is allowing your knees to cave in a little bit on the way down. One thing that I like to do, because obviously when it comes to a squat, it's a great quad and glute exercise, is you make sure that you are driving those knees out and you're making sure that you have that raise in your foot and you're using your feet as you squat down, and then as you squat back up, yes, your knees can come in a little bit, but making sure that you're not caving your knees in on the way down is going to help save your knees and also engage your glutes a little bit more. All right, and then last but not least, make sure that you are not rounding your back when going into a squat. And so there's a couple things, kind of all these tips kind of lead up to this one, because this is probably the most important thing you got to make sure that you're not doing, because this is where you're going to risk yourself getting hurt and having a very bad back injury. You do not want that, I promise you. When people do use those 10-pound plates underneath their heels, it does allow them to have a more upright torso rather than trying to get that lack of ankle mobility and now their butt shooting backwards and their back looks like this as opposed to this. And so the more upright you can keep your back, the stronger you can be with your core. When you drive your knees out and you engage your glutes, all of these are going to add up to making sure that you're not rounding your back. Also, another thing, make sure you're not going too heavy. If you're going too heavy, you're more likely to round your back because you're gonna have that bad form. So make sure that you're leaving your ego at the door, you're lifting with quality reps, you're taking into account all these different form tips that I laid out, and you're not hurting yourself. But that's everything, guys. As I mentioned, squats, obviously a super important exercise, no matter what your fitness goals are, whether it's to bulk up and build muscle, whether it's to slim down and get tone, whether it's to just get a good workout in and burn some calories, no matter what it is, squats are a phenomenal exercise, but making sure that you're doing them right is just as important, because a bad squat there's just no point in doing it, and you're gonna risk hurting yourself. And so make sure that you're coming back to this video and watching it as many times as you need to. Reminders are never a bad idea, especially when it comes to something as important and as easy to mess up as a squat. But that's it. So if you guys are wanting me to talk about any other exercises like this, give tips and tricks on how to do them correctly, or common mistakes that I see made, or you guys are wanting to know what exercises are best for a certain muscle group, let me know down in the comment sections below. I want to make videos that you guys want to hear. And also make sure that you're subscribing to the channel and liking this video if you did enjoy it. But that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.